All right, it is 6 September. I'm not sure where I'm at on my last update, but anyway, we got some cement hardy backer here on the floor. We got the tile underneath where the water heater is going to go, so that way when the gas guy shows up to hook the water heater up, it'll be in place. We don't have to worry about moving it again. I got a piece of pipe inserted there and a little access panel for where the gas line is going to come through, because he has to be able to see it come through the wall. So that I asked him. He said that using a piece of PVC pipe like that for access would be wonderful. So we got that done. Getting ready to put the bottom portion of the second layer of insulation on there, and then we'll get the third layer of insulation on there, and then some sheathing on that. We got a bunch of tiling supplies loaded in here. I unloaded 26 boxes of that stuff yesterday. Each one of those boxes is like 75 pounds. They're heavy as hell. These bags here are only 50 pounds. They're not too bad, but man, these boxes of tile are heavy. Anyway, got those loaded in. It's enough to do the rest of the floor over here. Once we get to that, I'm gonna have to, I think I mentioned before, chop out some concrete there for our header board here to go in right. We got the safe mounted where it's going to be. It's got tightened bolts going through the bottom into the cement, so not going to be easy to walk off with that thing. I think Lori's got some more painting here done, and I've got a start of a top wall, which our mini split's going to mount on that now instead of this one over here. But got that done and ready to build a wall down here and across, so that we can make this walk-in closet. I've got a door identified. It's over here for use for that walk-in closet, and some hinges that some rusty old hinges I had. I put them in oxalic acid, take the rust off, and I got those cleaned up. And I don't think I got much of any progress over here done. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. All right, 6 September. I got the insulation, third layer insulation on these two sections of wall, sheathing up, and Winch Lori is busy painting it as we speak. All right, it is 7 September. I went and got this hammer, called electronic hammer. Basically, and I've got a chisel on it, and I've been working on this concrete over here that's in the way of my header. Most of that stuff down there is going to go pretty quick. This was a big block of stuff right here, and so it's taken me a little bit to get through it, but I got my little checker thing here, and I can slide back and forth and make sure that I'm clearing. I just hit one of my lag bolts there, but basically go through here and make sure that I've got all the concrete out of the way before I put that header on. So making progress on that. I kind of been putting that off, dreading it, but I need to get my boards here out of the way, which means I need to put joist in and be able to move down the line so I can keep working on the bathroom here. Today, progress. I got the vent through the roof, and I got some PEX line run over here. My hot and cold tees right there, and then elbow around the corner over here, and then I got the hot water line hooked up. Just shark bite fitting on the one end there, and then the regular pipe fitting over here. I've got my T for my expansion tank and stuff here. I'm waiting on my expansion tank to arrive, and then we put the vent through the roof. So making some progress. The other thing that I did was I got this board painted pink. I got pink paint, and I've got two holes drilled in it. One there, one here, and then I put this little footer on there. And this hole up here, I just put some vinyl flooring on the back of it to block the hole. This hole I didn't worry about because this hole is going to end up going up against the safe here where that little piece of blue tape is right there. And then I had some walnut laying around, some scrap walnut, so I made these things. One will go here, centered on where that cross is there, and then the other one will go up and will be centered on this cross right here, and then this board will go up, connect to the joist, and then we've got some pipe. This is actually the top pipe for cyclone fencing that I cut. This is 88 inches long, and there's another one over there. I got to cut it, and then that will go between the wall and the safe, and this 2x4 running up here to create 2 clothes hanging rods. I'll probably brace those since they're 88 inches long. I'll probably take some steel banding and connect it up there to the top to give it some support. But got that done. It's just a matter of assembling that, and that'll be done also. All right, it is 8 September. I got my rod here mounted that's going to hold my clothes rod, and I put some RTV silicone on the back of this, and then I put a cement nail through the bottom of that, and then I'm going to have to turn the light off here because otherwise it will blind me and the camera. And then up here at the top, what I did was I just took a board. It's hard to see because that other board is kind of showing it. Let me get it from the other side. I took a board and I put 2 screws in, and I put 2 screws in through this way into that board. So I took a board and I put 2 screws in this way into that board, and then that way when I got this board where I wanted it, I could just put a couple screws in this way into that board, and it would hold it in place up at the top. So that's what we got this holding that board in. Now before I put my clothes rods in, I put my 2 additional layers of insulation on up there at the top, and then I'm going to sheathe that. That green board's actually just a piece of sheathing. Now there's no board across the very top here to nail the sheathing into. The only thing that I can nail into is this top board here, because I used 8-foot long boards as studs, and then I put 8-foot sheathing on it, which means I've got a gap, right? Because once I add the 3 inches, the 1.5 inches for the top board and the 1.5 inches for the bottom board, I got a 3-inch difference. So I can nail to these studs here, which I put a little black dot right there, so I know where the stud is once I get the sheathing on there. And then I can nail to that board that goes all the way across, along with the 3 inches of stud that I have occasionally. So, but that, this OSB is stiff enough to where I tack it on the bottom, it's going to hold on there, it's not going to fall off. And remember, absolutely nothing that I'm doing inside this barn is structural, because the barn's already built, right? I'm just putting a facade on the inside, so nothing has to be perfect. All right, still 8 September. I got this this clothes hanger thingy done. So again, I got my pole here with the hole drilled in the 2x4, and just a piece of vinyl flooring on the back, and then just a piece of laminate flooring here on the back to keep that pole from sliding out. over here, I got a piece of walnut that I'm using. I've actually got this clamp on here because when I put this screw in here, it chipped off, and so I got some wood glue on there to get that to get that corner back on. And then this one here and across, again, hole, and then the safe is keeping that one from sliding out. And then I put this strapping on. There's a piece that comes down, goes around this one, and then the piece goes around this one. Got a little bit of tension on there to where once we start, if I push down on this pole, you can see it rocks down here because it's being pulled up a little bit. But as we put clothes on here and this tightens up, this should keep it from bowing too much. I know some of you are going, that looks like crap. Well, I'm more of a functional guy than a look pretty guy. But if you wanted to, you could take maybe some fake vine or something and make it look like a vine was growing down. Just wrap it around all the way down, or some tinfoil garland or something. I don't know, whatever you wanted to try to hide that a little bit if you were into that sort of thing. But for me, this worked just fine. Oh, and you can see I got the sheathing put on here across the top over here, and got that painted. So this side, this wall of the closet is pretty much done. Now I got to work on this one over here.